Welcome dear student. Today let's continue with the lesson environmental management, and we have already completed part 1 of this video. So this is part 2 from class 10 science 2. Okay, let's study. Alright. So here we shall going to see the a chart which is given in your textbook page number 37. So here the different components of ecosystem are given. So student, there are two components of ecosystem. First is abiotic component and second is biotic component. Now abiotic means non-living component, okay, and biotic means living things, living components. And under the abiotic components we have two factors. First is physical factor and second is chemical factor. All right. And under biotic component, that is living thing, we have two factors, that is autotrophic and second is heterotrophic. Now autotrophic, like plants, those who are prepare their own food with the process of photosynthesis, okay. And heterotrophic, that means these will depend on another organism for their food. So in autotrophic we have producers like plants, and in heterotrophic we have consumer, decomposers and animals, okay. So under the chemical factor we have nutrients and minerals, but in physical factor we have non-living factors like air, water vapor, minerals, soil and sunlight. All right. So plants are producers and the bacteria, okay, these are the decomposers. That means after the death of the organism, bacteria will decompose them, okay. And in consumer we have one type, that is animal, and in decomposers we have bacteria, okay. So in animal we have three types of consumer, that is primary consumer, secondary consumer and tertiary consumer. Primary consumer, that means the consumer which are dependent on the producers like plants, okay. And secondary consumers, the consumers which are depends on the primary consumer, like they will be carnivore, omnivore. And tertiary, top level consumers, okay. And under the nutrients and minerals we have two types substances. First is inorganic substances and second is organic compounds, okay. And under the organic compounds we have the compound which contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur in their elements, okay. And organic compound we have examples like proteins, carbohydrate, fats, etc. But in inorganic substances we have hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, calcium, iron, sodium, potassium. Alright, so these all are the classification of ecosystem and their different components. Okay, so student, paddy is cultivated on large scale in various states of South India. Now paddy is a rice field, okay, where rice have been grown. So these paddies are cultivated on large scale in various states of South India, and paddy fields are frequently attacked by the insect grasshopper. That means the grasshopper is a primary consumer and paddy is a producers, okay. And similarly, frogs are also present in large number in the mud of a paddy fields to feed upon the grasshopper. That means frog will be secondary consumer, okay. And snakes, that is the tertiary consumers which are dependent on the frog, are also present therein to feed upon their favorite food, that is frog. So this is a one kind of a food chain, that is paddy field, and these are the producers. Grasshopper will be primary consumer, frog will be secondary, and snake will be tertiary consumer, okay. So this is a one kind of a food chain. Now however, if frog population will decline or frog population will decreases all of a sudden, then what happened? Let's answer the question, what will be the effect on paddy crop? Now if the population of a frog will be decline or decreases, then the paddy crop will also be reduced, okay. And second question, number of which consumers will decline and which will increase? That means if frog population will all decrease, then which type of a consumer will decrease and which kind of a will be, what will be the, in what will increases, which consumer will be increased. So student, if the frog population will decreases, the number of tertiary consumer, that is snake, will decreases, and the number of pest or insect, that is a grasshopper or primary consumer, will increase, okay. But tertiary consumer will be decreased. But so why? Because if no frog will be there, then tertiary consumer snake will also be decreases, okay. And next question, what will be overall effect on that ecosystem? So if the all the we know that all the components of an ecosystem play an important role. So each and every organism is depending on one another for their food feeding purposes. Okay, so this is so if each and every component will be there in the ecosystem, then a whole ecosystem will be balanced and it will be well maintained. Okay, now let us understand what is mean by environment. Okay, so what is environment? Student, all living things that live on this earth comes under the environment. Okay, and whether they live on land or water, they are part of an environment. It means land, water, every organism present on land or water, they are the part of an environment. And the environment also includes physical factors like air, water, sunlight, and biological like plants, animal, etc. So it includes everything which is present in our surroundings. So this is an environment. Okay, now let's understand the relationship between environment and ecosystem. Student, environment is very broad concept, and physical, chemical and biological factors affecting the living organism in any possible way is collectively called as environment. So in short, we can say that the combination of physical, chemical and biological factor everywhere, it is either they are present on land or water. So this is called as an environment. And in short, environment is a condition in surrounding. Okay, and it includes many biotic, that is living things, abiotic, non-living things, natural and artificial like natural and man-made factors also included in the environment. So there are two main types of environment. First is natural environment and second is a man-made or artificial environment. So this is about the environment and their two. Okay, now the natural environment consists of air, atmosphere, water, land, living organism, etc. Continuous interaction occur between biotic and abiotic factors. That means the components of natural environment, that is air, atmosphere, water, land, living organism, everything, they are in continuous interaction with each other. That means biotic and abiotic factors are continuous interacted in the environment, surrounding environment. Okay, and their interaction is very important. And artificial environment is also, that is man-made environment, is also affecting the natural environment directly or indirectly. Alright, and basically the environment consists of two basic factors, biotic factors, that is living things, and abiotic factor, that is non-living. Okay. So student, the science that deals with the study of interaction between biotic and abiotic factors of the environment is called as ecology. So we know that in environment there are different biotic and abiotic factors are interacted with each other. Okay, and this branch of a science which study about the interaction of biotic and abiotic factor of in the surrounding environment, it is called as a ecology. And basic functional unit used to study the ecology is called as ecosystem. And we have seen different types of ecosystem like terrestrial ecosystem, water ecosystem, okay, aquatic ecosystem and desert ecosystem. So there are different types of ecosystem we have already studied. And a small pond is an ecosystem, whereas the earth is largest ecosystem. Okay, and in brief, biotic and abiotic factors of occupying a definite geographical area and their interaction collectively consists the ecosystem. That means on land there is they occupy the different ecosystem, they occupy a certain area on the earth or land. Okay, so they made some ecosystem like pond. This is a pond is an example of a small type of a ecosystem, but earth is the largest ecosystem. Okay, so student, environmental balance is maintained through continuous operation of various natural cycles like water cycles, carbon cycle, gaseous cycle like nitrogen cycle, oxygen cycle, etc. So these all cycles play an important role to balance or maintain the environment. And environmental balance is also maintained due to the various food chain of ecosystems. So all the things like natural cycles and ecosystem, food web, all are play an important role to balance or maintain the environment. Okay, student, human existence is totally impossible without the existence of nature, isn't it? And hence it is basic responsibility of human being to preserve the nature without disturbing its balance. So it is our responsibility to preserve the nature without disturbing its balance. Okay. And it is said that we have got this earth planet on lease from our future generation and not as an ancestral property and from our ancestor, and hence we should not forget to conserve it for ourselves and for the future generation. So we have to conserve the environment. Environmental balance should be maintained for us and our future generation also. So student, that's it for today's video. I hope you all have understood, and next part we will continue in our next session. Thank you.